Okay, so speaking of women, well, there seems to be a lot of that lately because of what a Boise State political science professor said in a speech last month. Dr. Scott Yenor teaches political philosophy at BSU. He's a tenured professor that's been there since 2000. But in early November, Dr. Yenor was speaking at the National Conservatism Conference as a Washington Fellow at the Claremont Institute's Center for the American Way of Life. That's quite the business card. The Claremont Institute is a conservative think tank that also has members who believe the 2020 presidential election was fraudulent. Anyway, Dr. Yenor gave a 15-minute speech at that conference that he posted to YouTube last week and included things like this.
Our independent women seek their purpose in life in mid-level bureaucratic jobs like human resource management, environmental protection, and marketing. They are more medicated, meddlesome, and quarrelsome than women need to be. If we want a great nation, we should be preparing young women to become mothers, not finding every reason for young women to delay motherhood until they are established in a career or sufficiently independent. If every Nobel Prize winner is a man, that's not a failure. It's kind of a cause for celebration. More successful men will mean more happy citizenry and a stronger nation.
Yeah, I know. Well, needless to say, it didn't get much attention until that video hit TikTok, and then the university felt compelled to put out this statement. Boise State University understands the open exchange of ideas, which is fundamental to education, can introduce uncomfortable and even offensive ideas. However, the university cannot infringe upon the First Amendment rights of any members of our community, regardless of whether we, as individual leaders, agree or disagree with that message. No single faculty member defines what Boise State or any public university endorses or stands for. So we wanted to hear from another faculty member to dig a little deeper into what defines Boise State. Dr. Joanne Leidy has been the dean of Boise State's College of Engineering since 2017. She graduated in 1982 with a degree in chemical engineering, not from Boise State, another college, but she's also a fellow of the American Institute of Chemical Engineers, and last year received another fellowship from the Association for the Advancement of Science for her research into air quality. Oh, and she's a wife and a mom. She's also aware of what her colleague has said and has this to say in response.
Every effort must be made not to recruit women into engineering, but rather to recruit and demand more of men who become engineers. Ditto for med school and the law and every trade.
So I think everybody at a university has a right to their opinion, and that their opinion is important, and that we learn from each other, and we need to continue to have dialogue. So I think the important aspect of being a university is having that freedom of speech and the ability to express your opinions. In terms of engineering and computer science, those are jobs and workforces that need to be diverse. I think that's important because I feel like engineering is all about solving problems, and that requires a lot of creativity. And creative jobs, as you would know, require a different life experience and different life experiences around the table. And that's why diversity is so important in engineering, that diverse set of thoughts that can really solve problems and the critical problems that we need to solve in the world.
The essence of Dr. Yenor's speech is basically that feminism is a failure, and it's done the opposite. In fact, it's done more harm than it has done good for this country. Do you buy that?
I don't really think about it in that way. In terms of being a woman in a male-dominated field, I think I have a unique set of perspectives to bring to the table. I am married, I have children, and so I have succeeded in a career that is very rewarding, as well as having a family. Okay. So I feel like that feminism and that movement toward bringing women up is not a failure.
Our feminist culture points women, especially young women, away from marriage and family life through its celebration of careerism.
Now, when you got into engineering, you decided this is where you wanted to go. Did you feel like you were pushed there, or that like this is the only way for you to succeed was to, quote unquote, get into a man's job, a man's world?
I went into engineering because I liked science and math and solving problems. I knew it would be a good career. Engineering is a very solid career. It's well-paying, and those were the decisions that drove me to engineering. I went into academics because I wanted to teach, and I really wanted that perspective of being a good teacher and helping students achieve their goals.
We need to de-emphasize our colleges and universities. That's essential to making progress on family matters. Almost everything in these indoctrination camps complicates the male-female dance. It delays growing up.
That basically promoting going to school, getting an education, is not going to enforce and build this fabric of our nation, as he refers to it. Do you believe that? Do you agree with that?
In my opinion, the things that make the fabric of life are being a role model to our children on what they can accomplish. Part of that is being a team with a partner and really having a career that has been successful. And I would guess that if you talk to my two grown children, they would say me having a successful career has helped them obtain their dream jobs as well. I would be lying if I told you I have never heard this before.
Okay. This isn't new to you.
It's not new. I have been in the profession for a very long time. It has changed dramatically since when I started. There is still work to be done.
And it continues. And there are about 2,200 students in Boise State's College of Engineering. About 18% of them are women, which is below the national average of about 23%, we're told. Dr. Leidy pointed out Boise State's College of Engineering is only 25 years old, and they've grown over that quarter century to be a ranked college of engineering in research and undergraduate studies. In those 25 years, they've had 4 deans, 3 of which have been women. So she credits the college's accomplishments and impact to the commitment of its women leadership. Dr. Leidy was one of 23 of BSU's deans, vice presidents, president, and athletic director that signed a letter of support for women at the school, something they felt they had to do today, noting the significant contributions to all areas of academia, industry, and society. Boise State University has a long tradition of supporting women, they said. We defend the right to seek an education, to pursue a range of academic aspirations, and to make their mark in whatever ways they choose. Dr. Yenor put out a recorded response to the backlash he has received this week, but it's basically doubling down on what he already said in Orlando and what he said in other publications previously, like transgender activists are trying to undermine parental rights, something we talked about back in 2017. Now, we reached out to Dr. Yenor today to get an answer to a few of our questions. He has yet to respond. We also reached out to Lieutenant Governor Janice McGeachin, since she put Dr. Yenor on her education task force in an effort to root out indoctrination in our schools. What does she, holding the second highest political position in the state, Idaho's first female lieutenant governor, what does she think about being in a mid-level bureaucratic job, as he says, and labeled as more medicated, meddlesome, and quarrelsome than women need to be? Well, we're still waiting for a response.